wanted to make a quick video today on whether or not you should bulk, cut, or maintain your weight in your overall diet plan for the next few months to year. In order to answer that question, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind. Right? First of all would be your goals. Is your goal to put on as much muscle as humanly possible? Is your goal to get as strong as possible in the shortest amount of time? Is your goal to run a 5K sprint race in under 20 minutes? Okay, so if you're a running base goal and endurance goal, right, you probably should not bulk. Your best option would be able to maintain your weight, focus on your performance and your training, and get better in your sport. If it's endurance based, if it's strength based or hypertrophy based, meaning if you're trying to get big muscles and you're trying to get stronger, you may want to look at bulking as an option. So if you're already overweight by a substantial amount, or your body fat percentage is above 30% at your starting point, or right now when you're seeing this video, do not bulk. All right, you're only going to dig yourself into a further hole, and there's conflicting science studies on whether or not it says that insulin is less sensitive as you have more body fat percentage, or there's some studies that says that there isn't. But overall, what we can say is that anything above 30% body fat is generally unhealthy, and it may even hinder your performance in cardiovascular activities, depending on what that is. So if you're over 30% body fat, I'd recommend either maintaining your weight, getting your habits in place, focus on your eating, focus on getting good sleep, focus on going to the gym, and enjoying your workouts, first of all, before you decide to cut. And if you're over 30% body fat, you'd be going to the gym for a few weeks to a month or two. Now we can say, okay, I've got my habits in place. The last piece of this puzzle is that I lose some body fat percentage and look and feel a little better. Now, if you're underweight, kind of like I was when I first started lifting when I was 13, it was 130 pounds, and I was like 5'10" or something. But I was a string bean. So I was like, okay, I've been lifting for 4 or 5 months. I'm enjoying the gym. I have good workouts. I have good sleep. I have somewhat good nutrition. I still don't really know what I'm doing. This is 13-year-old myself, or 13-year-old me. And I said, you know what? I think I'll benefit from a bulk. So I bulked from 130 pounds, 140 pounds. I put on 10 pounds over the course of a year when I first started lifting, and then I got serious about it, and I said, all right, I'm going to go for my first bulk. And I put on 40 pounds in about 4 or 5 months. And I did that through eating Pringles and packing an extra sandwich at lunch for myself at recess in middle school. And I would kind of just snack on more foods when I got home and eat a big dinner. So I put on weight very quickly. And that's a situation where if you're underweight, or, hey, I want to get strong quickly and I want to put in as much size as possible, then bulking would most likely be a good option as long as you're under 30% body fat. So that situation, bulking would be a great thing to do, especially when you're younger. So things to keep in mind when you're bulking, right? If you're 70 years old, any coach worth a darn probably isn't going to go, hey, let's go on a bulk, because any coach at 70 years old is going to know that, okay, now after they get all this adipose tissue, this is going to be a hard journey getting all that fat off of that 70-year-old, right? That's just a silly example, right? So if you're 70 years old, unless you're severely underweight, you should not be bulking, all right? Keep your age in mind. If you're a 50-year-old guy or girl, right, you probably shouldn't bulk, again, unless you're underweight. Your best option for most people against all age ranges is going to be able to maintain your weight, or maybe just have a slightly caloric surplus, very little, to the point where you're going to burn all those calories off anyway when you go work out in the gym on the days that you rest days, when you're recovering because you're more active in general, you're going on hikes. Because if you maintain your weight, you're slowly going to fill out with muscle, strength, etc. You really only want to bulk if you're underweight, or if you're taking your sport super seriously and you're in a sport that will benefit from bulking, such as like football or bodybuilding. Powerlifting doesn't necessarily benefit from bulking, because then you're getting out of your desired weight class. So at powerlifting, you want to be as light as possible, but be the strongest possible version of yourself that you can. So if you're stronger at 190, then of course that's a logical answer to, okay, I need to bulk up to 190 because I'm way stronger. But if you're not that much stronger at 220, then it doesn't make any sense to bulk up to 220 and you just stay at 190, because that's a more competitive weight class that you can be in and do better per your weight class, per your body weight. Same thing with bodybuilding. The only thing that bodybuilding will affect is just how long you have to cut after you bulk. So if you gain a lot of weight, that you're in store for a long cut. If you only gain 10, 15 pounds, that's a much more reasonable and healthy bulk, and that's going to be a much shorter time period of losing that weight, being show ready again. So those are also things to keep in mind. So to kind of summarize all this, it depends on your goals, your sport specific goals. But if you do want to bulk, I would recommend anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds worth of a bulk is okay. Anything over 20 pounds, you're looking at a long cut. And this is coming from a guy who religiously has bulked. This is my third big bulk, way over 20 pounds, right? This last bulk, I went from 215 to 250, okay? So, yeah, about 35 pounds if I'm doing math correctly while I'm driving. So that's a lot of extra weight to gain. Again, though, I'm a young, healthy guy, been lifting a long time, and I know what I'm doing, so I'm not too worried about getting the weight back off. I just know, okay, wow, this is going to be like a year, 18-month process now just in the cutting phase, because I like to cut really slow so I have good workouts. And it may be a little short on that. Again, I'm just using broad timelines, but that would be an example. If I only gained 15 pounds, it would have been a healthier bulk and it would have been a heck of a lot easier to cut. I just wanted to do big bulk. So all those things to keep in mind, but after 200 pints of Ben & Jerry's, there's no going back once you have that weight on. So choose your bulk wisely, all right? Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.